So we're going to do this quadratic, which cannot be like factored easily. So we have this quadratic x squared plus x minus 3. And you can see that this quadratic is not very easy to factor, but we still want to find a solution to this thing right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this general formula known as the quadratic formula. And this formula says that the x that satisfies this equation equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So what we're going to do is, you guys might be wondering, well, what's a, b, and c? So this thing right here, the coefficient in front of x squared is a, the coefficient in front of this is b, and the coefficient in front of this is c. So we're going to, in order to solve this, we're going to plug into our formula, and we're going to say, well, what's negative b? Well, if b is 1, then negative b is negative 1, and that's going to be plus or minus, and then we're going to say the square root of b squared. Well, 1 squared is still 1, minus 4 times a times c, right? Well, minus 4 times a, well, a is 1, so we're going to plug that in, and c right here is negative 3. And then that's all going to be over 2 times a, but a is 1, so that's all going to be over 2. But you can see that this right here is negative 4 times 1, which is negative 4, times negative 3, and a negative times a negative is a positive, so this is positive 12, and 1 plus 12 is 13. So we get x equals negative 1 plus or minus, let's swirl, the square root of 13 all over 2, right? And so we can use some graphing utilities to get in approximate values for x, which I believe I have as x equals 1.303 or x equals negative 2.303. And so that's how we're going to be using the quadratic formula to solve something that we can't factor right away. So let's do another one, just so we can reinforce what we're doing. So let's say we got 2x squared minus 5x minus 5, right? So we're going to ask, how exactly can we do this? Well, this one does not look very easy to factor either. Sorry. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our negative b. Well, since b is negative 5, negative b is 5. And we're going to say plus or minus the square root of b squared. Well, that's negative 5 squared, which is 25, minus 4 times a times c. Now, I'm going to save you the time. And negative 4 times a is negative 4 times 2, which is negative 8. And negative 8 times negative 5 is 40. So we're going to do some quick maths. And all of that is going to be over 4. So we're essentially saying 5 plus or minus 65 over 4. So then we're going to get our approximate values for x. Now we can see that rad 65 is basically 8. So our approximate values for x should be more or less 5 plus or minus 8. So we're getting negative 0.766. Negative 0.766, and we're also getting positive 3.266. And we're just going to do a sanity check, make sure our calculation looks correct. So we're basically, let's say we're doing minus. If we're doing 5 minus 8, that's negative 3 over 4, which close enough, because remember it's rad 65, so it's going to go a little over. Or we can have 5 plus 8, which is going to be like 13 over 4, which is like 3.25, so this is all very close. So that right there is how we use the quadratic formula. What you guys got to do is you got to remember this right here, you got to remember it. And then you just got to take your numbers, you see your a, you see your b, you see your c, you plug and chug, and then you get your result. You can use a calculator to approximate the radical, and then you have the answer you need. Hope this helps. Have a good day.